Quick one today. So we're going to talk about the problem with the UK bodybuilding scene. Now, it's not actually a problem with the influencers I'm going to mention in this video. Rather, it's kind of a problem with how the consumers consume their information. Allow me to explain. So the top UK bodybuilding influencers, right? Guys like AJ Morris, Cuba. I like all of them. I respect all of them. I think they make great content. And this video isn't a hit piece. But what I am saying is, I personally think, and from my experience watching them, is that their content is for the really seasoned bodybuilders. The type of advice they give helps you squeeze out the last like 10% of your gains. It's for the really serious guys. And so for guys like me who aren't that advanced in the bodybuilding game, I'd say I'm like a mid-tier bodybuilding enthusiast. I'm not fully in the game, like bodybuilding is in my life. I've not competed yet, but I don't even know if I want to compete, do you get me? So I'm not a fully seasoned bodybuilder. For guys like me, and probably guys like you, if you're watching this channel, like you're probably not an IFBB pro, but if you are, what's good? I think those guys, their advice won't really translate over to you because you're not on the same level as them. And it makes sense that their advice is going to be really advanced and really like tailored to the top of the top, because these guys are the top of the top, and it makes sense that the type of content they make is going to mirror their experience and tips and advice and things they're going through in their training. And so what I'm basically saying is, I've found with these guys, right? So let me stop saying these guys. Let me be more specific. Let's take AJ Morris, for example. I like the guy. I fought with him. He makes great videos. And matter of fact, I give him £10 every single month because I'm subscribed to his members only site. So I like the guy. And let me make this clear, this video ain't a fucking hit piece, right? But what I found scrolling through his Instagram reels is that a lot of the advice he gives just doesn't apply to me yet. And I think it wouldn't apply to the majority of people. His advice is very it's very intricate details. It's very specific, like minute little tips that you can do here and there that to build the foundation of your gains, I don't think you need. And so I think the best way to consume most of the information AJ Morris gives is almost consume his information while you already have a base, while you already have a foundation. Come to him with the cake and allow his advice to give you the cherry on top. That's a good way I visualize his advice is. I think his advice is like the cherry on top. It's like the little extra last bits to get out most of the gains. But you must already come with a base. You must already know training a little bit. If you're a complete noob, if you're day one in the gym, I don't think following AJ Morris is going to be your best option. Rather, I think what's better for you, and this is what I recommend my clients, is if you watch guys that are more suited to the everyday gym goer, such as like Jeffrey Verty Schofield or other channels, you know what it's like when you make videos, you kind of fucking get nervous and shit and your brain stops working. So I can't really think of any right now on the spot, but if I do, I'll put some pictures on screen. But you get what I mean. I think you already need a base before you watch these guys. And a recent experience I've had that really illustrates this was I was watching a video by Cuba in which he was saying how
15 reps and above is work that is best served when you're on a calorie surplus. Your rep range is largely dictated by the amount of fuel you have coming in. So your diet generally should dictate what rep ranges you're working and how much volume you can handle and whether you can actually work with intensifiers such as rest pause or drop sets. In simple terms, if you're in a deficit, the last thing you want to do is set extensions, drop sets, force reps. If you're in a surplus, add it in. You've got the fuel coming in, you've got enough recoverability to be able to recover from it and progress. Now, in a deficit, your goal is staying big, keeping the strength. So, don't extend your sets, simple.
And that is good advice. I'm not gonna lie. Overall, it's good advice, bro. He's not chatting shit, he's not waffling. He knows what he's talking about. Cuba's a genius. But I think for a beginner in the gym, for the general population, for guys that just train recreationally and who aren't the top of the top bodybuilders, or even, you don't even need to be the top of the top, just for general guys, like, I don't think that advice is really applicable. Like, I think if it's your first day in the gym and you're a bit overweight and you're in a calorie deficit and you're, trying to put on a bit of muscle and lose a bit of weight, if you do intensify techniques while in a deficit, exactly the opposite of what Cuba recommended, I don't think your gains are going to suffer. I don't think you're going to see a massive difference in your physique than if you didn't do intensified techniques. And it was really that one particular video by him that made me realize, like, he is spitting facts, bro, but I don't think that information is that relevant to majority of people. And so this part of the video is going to go back to the start of the video in which I said how there isn't actually a problem with the UK bodybuilding influencers. These guys are doing nothing wrong. I think we as lifters, especially as not that serious lifters yet, I'm not dissing you, I'm not saying you're not a serious lifter, I'm just saying you're probably not looking to compete soon, or you haven't competed yet. For guys like me and you, we need to think with our critical brain and filter out information that isn't relevant to us, even if we like the guy giving the information. And I found this to be true in my case because I like AJ Morris, I like Cuba, I like Adam Powell, but following them on Insta, I found that initially I started listening to everything they said as gospel. I was like, oh yeah, spitting facts, he's spitting facts. But then I activated my critical brain and I started thinking, me and him are very different stages in our training career. Our experience is very different. His advice probably doesn't apply to me. And it's down to me as a consumer to filter through what advice I think is relevant to me, my goals, and what stage of the journey I am. And then decide if I want to take that advice on board or not. And so really, there isn't a problem with UK bodybuilding influencer scene at all. Rather, I think it's important for you to just be mindful when you watch these guys and think, is what they're saying applying to me? Is it relevant? And should I take information from them? And really, that's just, I know it's common sense, but like, I know it sounds like what I'm saying. It sounds like I'm beating a dead horse. That's a good phrase. It sounds like what I'm saying is just common sense. Like, obviously, be careful who you listen to. But I think in the world of fitness, especially, when the people you're listening to have the exact physiques you want, it's easy for us to become dogmatic, for us to be short-sighted and just listen to them only. Instead, we need to open our eyes a bit, see all the information about, and be a bit more selective with where we take our info from. So yeah, that's just be my thoughts. Hopefully I don't have to redo this video again because I think of something I should have said that I didn't say. But yeah, let me know what you think. Be careful who you take information from. Do a little assessment if it's relevant to you. And all the guys I mentioned in this video, like I said, it's not a hit piece. I mean, they're not even gonna watch this, but I get like 60 views of it. They're not gonna see this, but if you do somehow see it, I fuck with all you guys, man. You guys make great content, especially on AJ Morris' site. Like your videographers, you need to pay them double. They're good, man. But yeah, you lot let me know if you thought of this video, and catch you lot in the next one. Love.